Hello everyone, my name is Rebecca. Let's talk about makeup. Okay everyone, listen, I'm in the middle of chaos. There's chaos everywhere. I haven't even bothered to pick up. I have a tiny little filming window. It's the only one until like the 16th, like the middle of the month. So I thought I would come in here really quickly and we will talk about my Pan That Palette, how that's going. Did you guys remember I was doing Pan That Palette? Because I have not updated. Since January, I have not updated. And the reason is simple. I got no pan, y'all. I got no pan. I am working on these palettes harder than I tend to work on any palettes. But, okay, granted, January and February, I was sort of still figuring out how to balance all of the projects that I am participating in. And I had a fair number of palettes in that I was working on. I have been a little bit more judicious in the last couple of months, so I've been able to get a little bit more use on these palettes. First, the information about this project. This Pan That Palette is a Pantastic Ladies collab. It was created by Amber F. And the theme, which is fun-sized, so we're panning a little mini pocket-sized palette, was chosen by Jackie Lootens, and I am combining it with my Better Together palette, so companion palette type project. And that was come up with by Paula from A Beauty Girl Made Me Do It. I will link everyone down below. All of the information that you need on this combined project, Pan That Palette project pan, I will put down in the description box. So the palettes that I am working on this year, this is my fun size palette. I am working on the Tartist Pro To Go palette. And my Better Together palette is the Dream Street palette by ColourPop. These are both pretty neutral palettes. I'm just going to open both of them up for you to see. I don't have pan on anything yet, y'all. I have some pretty decent sized dips going on in some of these. There's a couple of shadows in here that for like the last 5 uses, I've been so sure that pan is just around the corner. So far, no joy, but you can see I'm getting a bit of use in here. I will put in the before and after photos. I think you'll be able to see some of the wear and tear that I have inflicted on these palettes. So my goals for these palettes is I want to pan every shade in here. I'm only close on one shade. Getting closer on another shade. I really don't know if I'm going to be able to do it by the end of the year. I'm really not sure. On this one, my goal was I wanted to pan 50% of these shades, and I'm telling you, listen, I don't know if it's going to happen. I don't know if this is going to happen. I'm going to try my best, but here's the thing. I've mentioned before in my videos, I really crave variety when it comes to my daily makeup usage, and that is no more true than when it comes to eyeshadow. I have a big eyeshadow collection. I love playing with all of my different eyeshadows, and so it's really difficult for me to give to these two palettes like the kind of focused attention that they clearly are going to need in order for me to be able to hit the amount of pan that I have gold on here. So I don't know how it's going to go. Who knows? It might go faster than I expect from this point on. But let's talk about how many times I have used each of these colors. So this is my little fun size palette, the Tartist Pro To Go. And it has 6 shades in here. This is the one that I am getting the closest on. You can actually see some side pan there, but I'm trying to hit bottom pan is what I'm trying to do. This is a really lovely cool toned brown transition shade. I've actually used this as a bronzer a couple of times and it works well for that. But that is that shade there. Shade Drive. This is the darker shade Stylin'. This is a really good deepening up outer corner shade. This is one of the older palettes in my collection. I don't know if it's the oldest, but it's one of the 3 oldest palettes in my collection. This is the shade Boss. It's a copper shimmer. That's one of the reasons why I really wanted to pan it, is because it is getting older in my collection. But by golly, y'all, the quality in this is still so nice. Such nice quality still. So this is Hype, beautiful gold there, really nice inner corner shade. Then you have Crisp. I think this is the one that I have done the least on. It's just a much warmer brown shade, and I tend to gravitate more towards the cooler tones. And then the last one here is this purple shade Dominate. Really pretty bronzy purple shimmer. Really pretty palette. So I have used Drive, which is this one. I have used that one 18 times. Overall, I have used the palette as a whole. I have used this palette 22 times since I started this project in January. To me, that is a lot of uses. Granted, it has been 4 months, but that's a lot of uses. So she's just holding out on me is what she's doing. So I have used this one here 18 times. I have used this one here 17 times. I have only used this shade 3 times, so that bronzy color 3 times. I have used this gold inner corner shimmer there. I have used that 9 times. I have used this warmer brown 4 times, and I have used this purple here 4 times. So I really need to step up my use on those last 3 if I'm going to get where I need to go with them. I'm actually thinking about maybe starting to pull in these shimmery shades here, simply because I feel like for me personally, they're a little bit dark. They're on the dark side to be a lid shimmer. And so I struggle to know what to do with them. I'm thinking about maybe pulling them in as liners. But anyway, yeah, we're gonna keep trucking along with this. I am really enjoying this palette. I am taking this palette with me on vacation next week. It is the only eyeshadow palette I'm bringing with me. So I'm gonna get a little bit more focused use on it while I am gone. And who knows, I might eventually hit some pan in here. Here's hoping. The Dream Street palette, I have used this palette 32 times. So I've actually used it quite a bit more than the Pro to Go. However, I do feel like I'm struggling a little bit with this palette. I do feel like this palette, more than that one, is really suffering from age. I don't feel like the quality is there anymore. I really don't. And I think that's the most apparent in the darker shades. And those are the ones that I'm struggling to use the most. Like these shades here in particular, I'm not really getting a smooth blend on those. They're a little trickier and more frustrating to use. The lighter shades are still performing fine. I actually rehydrated. This is a super shock. I had to rehydrate this and repress it into the pan. But yeah, overall, I'm not enjoying using this palette as much as I hoped I would, but I'm determined. I am determined. No pan yet. But I have been using this one as a liner because I can't get a smooth blend with this color. I cannot get a smooth blend with this color. And so I have been using it pretty exclusively as an eyeliner. I'm wearing it today. Actually, all of this, I believe, is from this palette today. So let's talk about how many times I used it. So overall, I have used it 32 times. And I have used this shade here 20 times. I have used this shade 17 times. I actually have experimented using this on the cheeks, and it is a very warm, peachy, interesting blush that I don't have anything similar in my collection, to be honest. I think I like it a little bit more when I mix a touch of this coral shade in, just to give it a little bit more pinkiness. But I have used it that way. I have actually not used Stardust even once. Not even once. Have not used it even once. Twinkle I've used 3 times. Sweet Dreams over here, I have used this 7 times. I have used Water Bearer 15 times. Actually, it would be 16 times with today's use. I have used Potion here once. This is a lot warmer than I usually reach for. I also don't reach for a coral color like this often, but I have used it 4 times. I used this once and then repressed it and then used it another 5 times. So there's 6 total uses on this Super Shock here. I've used Moony 4 times. Elfish I have used 17 times. And Mermaid Boy I have used 6 times. So I feel like I'm close on these 2 and on this one. So Water Bearer here, I could see myself hitting pan within the next month or 2. Same with these two. I think this one is a little further along. I don't know if you guys can really see, kind of can see there the dip that's going on in each of these. This one is closer than this one. I've also got a decent sized dip going on in this one, and I feel like with a little bit more focused use, I could pan this one. It is a Super Shock. Super Shock shocks are just easier to pan than other shadows. So let's see, if I give them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I still need to pan one more. I don't know which one is more realistic for me to go through for, this one or this one. I think probably I could use this one as a liner in the same capacity that I've used this one. Yeah, I'm gonna need to pick one more to really focus on in order to hit my 50% goal, because I could see that happening for these ones. It's gonna take me a little while for this one, especially because I do struggle with the blend on this one, so it's not my first choice for deepening up the outer corner the way a shade like this normally would. It might be something where I just need to use it as a liner as well, but I'm not going to really focus in on using it that way until I have panned Water Bearer. That is my progress on my Pan That palette. That, I know it's kind of a boring update, but it's month 5. I figured maybe you needed one. Maybe we should acknowledge officially that yes, I am still participating in this project. I just haven't gotten very far. So hopefully the next time I come at you guys, I will have a little bit more progress to report. Thank you for spending this time with me, and I hope I'll see you in the next one. Bye.